It's Monday. It's morning.
It's more, bro.
What does Morbo sound like, by the way?
This is Morbo. He sounds.
Oh, hi, Morbo. How are you? How is your... Okay. You sound fucking depressed.
Well, spider.
Are spiders normally like... Does this sound all spiders sound?
It's not a great time.
But it's a long time, baby.
Amen.
Caught any flies in your web recently?
Listen, it's been lean year. It's been a lean year for Morbo.
You've been cutting this year?
Been real cutting. Been really, really cutting back.
Yeah. You had like a sober October type deal, but for food?
Yeah.
Scones
You
here.
really got a lot. Hey, Scones. Morbo's got a lot to say. I love it.
Really? Normally he doesn't have enough. Usually when I talk to him in the break room, he's very curt and his life sounds awful.
Phil doing the Monday in morning. I told him I'd let him do it because he's been bugging me about it.
Phil, you earned it.
You're very welcome, Phil.
Let me take off this. I'm wearing a fleece and it's hot.
Ooh, a Feliz Navidad, maybe.
Okay, fleece is off. All right, headphones are back on. So we're having a bit of a storm in the Northeast, and I'm worried about losing my power. So I'm kind of cranking my heat right now, anticipating that I might not have it for a bit.
I lost my power this morning.
Yes,
at about 5:30 a.m.
For those of you who don't know, Darce, you lose power more than anyone I know.
No, that was in the previous home, my dear boy.
I know, but then now
this is the first time in this new home.
It's Power Outage 2.
Power Outage 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Or lack of electric boogaloo.
Yeah. And National Grid was like, oh, homie, don't worry. We got you. Cruise on the way. I was like, they rolling through right now?
National Grid sounds sick.
Yeah, and they're like, don't worry. It'll be up and running by 6 p.m. And I was like, oh, shit. And they're like, tomorrow night.
God dang.
I was like, wait a minute. That's
really?
not the same.
But then he just lied to you?
Yeah, but then he hit me with that like Ghost of Christmas Future and then was like, oh, shit, I got to fix this now.
Oh, no, he pointed?
Yeah, he pointed and gave my house the old electric light orchestra, and here we are.
Wow.
So I was worried we weren't going to be able to record. It's the holiday episode, everybody. Happy holidays.
Season.
If you're a Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa enjoyer, celebrate. Good times, come on.
Yeah, what are we at? How many days of Hanukkah are we on?
Oh, man. Let's see. Let me do some quick maths. I want to say day 5 days. Well, when we're recording, it is the 23rd.
Oh, yeah. The last night is the 26th.
Yeah,
so we're deep
day 5.
in
I'm right.
The climax of Hanukkah right now.
Yeah, we're deep in the climax of Hanukkah.
I know the story of Hanukkah. I've seen Full Court
I've seen
Miracle.
Rugrats. Oh, okay.
Oh, that too. The Rugrats story from
the Rugrats?
Tommy's
Dude,
grandpa.
the Rugrats. Yeah, that was like the first show to ever acknowledge that Judaism exists.
I know.
I'm good. Don't at me on that one, but I'm pretty sure. Scones, does your Feliz Navidad have Christmas stuff on it? You didn't answer me, but I think it's because you didn't hear me.
Feliz Navidad. Wait, what? I don't know what you said.
You said you were wearing a fleece.
Oh.
I said a Feliz Navidad. Is it a Christmas sweater?
No,
and you never
I'm
answered.
keeping that one fresh and clean for day of. But
ooh, Santa's getting that peep show. True or false? Do you want to phone a friend?
Oh, true.
True.
Begrudgingly true.
Yeah.
Santa getting that peep show.
Dude, little peep show followed by some milk and cookies. God damn, that's a good night, says Santa Claus. Mrs. Claus don't gotta know. Little Scony peep shony. What a year. What a year.
You're talking like it's the best of episode.
Listen, New Year's is next week. You know.
Oh, I knew that.
Scones knows that. Scones.
How
much power are you
going
to lose? Are you going to kiss a little something or somebody on that ball drop?
I might have to kiss my National Grid guy if my power goes out to get it back up and running.
Dude, honestly, nothing more American. Play some Bruce Springsteen and kiss a National Grid employee. Oh, baby. That's a hungry heart right there.
Baby.
Ooh, baby,
Oh
that's a
my
hungry
God, that's wet hot American speed right there.
heart. Oh, hachi chachi. Keep your eyes on the road, listener. um, I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday. If you're new here, you've already left, so why
Get out.
bother?
We don't want you.
Scony.
Ooh, what's up?
Oh yeah, I gotta tell you, I gotta hit you with this crazy update in my life right now.
Darcy, hit me with a crazy update in your life.
First of all, I'm getting a call from Texas. Let me put this on speaker.
Oh, is it Texas National Grid?
Hello.
Yeehaw.
Hi, this is Jessica calling you from Spectrum.
Wow. Don't they know I'm doing the biggest
Wait,
podcast?
can't they sue you now? Didn't you didn't ask her if she's okay with being on mic?
The robot? Nah.
Yeah, she's gonna have a robo lawyer, dude. You're gonna be in robo court.
Dude, RoboCop's gonna arrest me.
Yep.
Robo lawyer's gonna try me. Robo judge is gonna sentence me, and Robo inmate's gonna become my new boy.
Listen, I'm not saying there's a little bit of racism going on in the legal system, but there is, and Darce, humans do not do well in robo court. I'll tell you.
Well, maybe if I'm like, hey, I'm a software engineer. I like speak your language, and they're like, oh,
They're like, oh, creator,
0110100.
Then they treat you as their new god.
Ooh.
Or would you be more like a neurosurgeon?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe they're like, my brain hurts, and I'm like, that's because you've got an old Pentium chip.
Yeah,
And then I
but
slap in a new.
it's weird because
like,
you
i9.
could rewrite their entire consciousness or delete it. So I guess a brain surgeon could do that if he stabs you during surgery in the head.
If he ends your life during
Yeah.
surgery, he could erase your consciousness. So anyway,
No backup.
so tomorrow, so my Christmas plans.
Yes.
Christmas Eve is when my wife and her family celebrate Christmas. So it makes it easy because then on Christmas Day we go to my sides, right?
Yeah, that's always nice when that works out.
It's always nice. So nice. I'll say it twice. My wife's and her family celebrate Christmas Eve on their side, and my family celebrates Christmas on our side. I fucked it up the second time.
Yep, but
But you guys get the idea. And so about an hour ago, we get a call from my mother-in-law being like, hey, father-in-law has the COVID. And we're like, oh, sheesh.
that's scary.
So that throws a big wrench in all the plans.
How is he doing?
He's doing all right.
Okay.
He's a little sick boy, but we've got a bunch of like small kids and yada yada yada, and we're like, well, it doesn't make sense to go to the person's house who's got COVID.
Who's a little sick boy?
Now, who's a little sick boy? We didn't want to go to a little sick boy's house.
Do you think it was irresponsible? Oh no, he wasn't sick. He was just never mind.
What?
I was gonna try and somehow equate him to Tiny Tim.
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk about Ron Test Punch the guy.
Oh no, Malice at the Palace. That's pretty sick too. Did that happen on Christmas?
Hey, nope, nothing to do with it.
Okay, I was trying to relate it back there, but I like where your head's at.
No. That's just in my brain. So we live like 15 minutes from her parents, and everyone else is driving in like from out of state or like far away.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're like, we'll host, I guess, because that's kind of the only solution we got aside from like canceling Christmas.
Oh,
So now
no!
we
Think
find
of all
out-
the kids who wouldn't get presents. If you had to do that.
Exactly. The Polar Express would derail and destroy
Yeah, Tom
a
Hanks would
nunnery.
drive into a mountainside. Rather end it all than not have Christmas.
Oh, God bless him. Extremely loud and incredibly close.
Tom
That's
Hanks.
the Peep Show story.
The Peep Show wet
so-
hot speed story of Tom Hanks.
So now we find out like an
Santa.
hour ago that we're hosting Christmas, and now we're doing like a mad dash to clean our entire house top to bottom. And in the middle of this, I was like, gotta talk funny with my friend. So here I am talking funny with my friend.
Yeah.
So that's my big Christmas hullabaloo,
Big hullabaloo. Oh, you guys are living in a Christmas movie right now.
right?
It's like you guys are like a Christmas the Cranks type of situation.
Yeah, I'm the farm kid. She's the big city lawyer girl,
Oh my gosh.
and I'm like, darn tootin'.
And I'm guessing she was gonna fly out this morning, but the power outage and the storm kept
Yeah,
her
exactly.
going.
The National Grid guy shot out her tires.
And the plane, she's not gonna be able to get on a plane until after Christmas. So she's gonna have to spend Christmas with you.
Exactly. And it's gonna, let's just say, things are gonna be unexpected for her. It's going to be a whole new way
Rob
to live.
Schneider.
So, yeah. So that's Christmas. We're at 11 minutes almost.
Hell yeah.
Extra
the
long
Crimbo
holiday chit
episode.
chat?
Yeah, it's that extra
Dude, the
long
Crimbo
holiday
Extendo.
peep show for the people.
The Peep Show
Is that the
prologue
name-
for the people.
Is our Christmas special now called the Holiday Peep Show?
the Holiday Peep Show. Welcome to the Holiday Peep
Welcome
Show.
to Santa's Holiday Peep Show, starring Tom Hanks.
We have the ghost of Bam Margera here. Bam.
Oh no!
Sorry, I'm 2 weeks early on that one. Scones, you have something spooky to talk about?
Yeah, I got a
Yeah.
scary Christmas. Wait, do you have one?
Scary
Are we both bringing one, or am I
Christmas.
bringing heat?
I do not bring
That's
one.
fine, because you have your Christmas movie you have to star in.
Yeah.
I'm alone in a dark apartment, so I got the goods, baby.
Scones is alone in a dark apartment. What are you
I'm
drinking
just
on?
alone,
And my apartment is dark, yeah.
So let's talk about the Ashland Massacre.
Oh.
Band, play that special Crimbo Crambo Chrysler
Band,
music.
yeah, give us that Peep Show.
Give us that happy
tune.
Honda days.
All right, Scony.
Yo. So I found a sick website. I'm going to give a shout out because
Called scones.com.
it is, if you're a fan of this podcast, it's probably right up your alley. It is called murderbygaslight.com, and it is a
Oh,
compendium.
no way.
Here's the
Of
tagline.
Girls gaslight.
Yeah.
For girl bossing.
Girl bossing, gaslighting,
gaslighting.
and gatekeeping.
And gatekeeping.
No, it is a compendium of information, resources, and discussion on notable 19th century American murders. Murder by
Ooh.
gaslight.
How did you find it? Were you searching like how to gaslight on Christmas?
Listen, I have my own research methods of how to find specific Christmas scary stories, and I will not reveal them to anyone or anything.
Wow.
Oh my
You just
god,
got
I just railed my elbow off my desk.
Oh, I just railed a line of elbows.
That hurts so good. Okay.
Scony with the tingly arms.
I don't know who the author is.
Wow, you're going to gaslight them like that, dude? Be like, You
Anyway.
said you were the author.
Mrs. J.W. Gibbons was away from her home.
Did we make her name up? What the
It
fuck?
does sound like it.
Hi, I'm J.W. Gibbons.
Well, this is the 18th.
Owner and operator.
It is the 19th century, so she's like,
That's true.
I'm J.W. Gibbons.
My husband, P. Willard Stillwater, was in town the other day.
Lord, it's hot.
It's giant fan
Yeah.
in her sundress.
It's funny because, like, all these 18th century people who are wearing so many clothes, they're always in Louisiana or something, or Florida. Like,
Yeah.
they're always in some southern...
You got to be modest when
Sweaty
the
place.
lords get like on that Peep Show 24/7.
I can't argue with that.
That's logic, dog.
Mrs. J.W. Gibbons is away from her home in Ashland, Kentucky on December 23rd, 1881. She left
Whoa.
behind her 18-year-old son, Robert, her 14-year-old daughter, Fanny, and a 17-year-old Emma.
Fanny
who was-
Gibbons.
Or, no, sorry, 17-year-old Emma Thomas, a.k.a. Carrico. Don't know why her name's Carrico.
wait, how's that spelled?
Carico. Could be Carico, Carrico.
Carico? That's okay, that's interesting.
Carico. I don't know.
She's
Well, anyway.
like, my name's Carico now. They're like, it's a phase. It's like, that's her. She demands to be called that.
So 18-year-old son Robert, 14-year-old daughter, and then a 17-year-old staying with them, whose name is Emma Thomas, but
apparently
prefers to go
Carico.
by Carico.
It's a Robin Big situation.
Yeah. Mrs. Gibbons returned the following day to find her home burned. It's so
You
dark.
can't break there.
It's so dark. And I'm still laughing about the Carico thing. Oh, I'm gonna get centered for this next sentence. That
Yeah,
is a
center
total shift in
yourself.
tone. Okay. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Abby Chrysler, Mary Hanukkahs.
Mrs. Gibbons returned the following day to find her home burned to the ground and all 3 inhabitants dead.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Carico too?
Yep.
Fuck, now I feel bad.
Neighbors discovered the fire around 5 a.m. on December 24th, and 2 of them were able to drag the bodies out of the file. It definitely is supposed to say fire, but it says file.
Out of the fire?
It says file.
Get the bodies out of the file.
Fanny's
And they're just,
skull was crushed by a blunt instrument,
Oh.
and Emma had been strangled.
Oh.
It appeared that both girls had been raped. Robert, who had
so
lost a leg in the railroad accident, was no match for the intruders.
Wait. You said the railroad accident, not a railroad accident, implying that we are aware of the said railroad accident.
Dude, if you knew Robert, you'd know. If you were the real one and didn't just come around Robert during the good times, Darce, you'd know.
Old Robbie Railroad out there? Just,
That's what they call him. It's very
hopscotch.
offensive. Can you imagine if you lost your leg in an accident on a railroad and you went to high school and everyone's like, it's Robbie Railroads?
What's up, B&O? Is it B&O? What's the name of the fucking railroad monopoly?
I don't know.
People are just B&O.
down the
I was
halls
right.
being
Okay.
like, choo choo.
No, it would have been better if I said short line.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, so what happened to Robert?
He ran outside to give an alarm. Before he could do so, the killer struck him from behind with a hatchet.
Oh, man.
The victim's clothes were saturated with coal oil and were partially
We need to
burned.
read like 2 more sentences before we start.
That's the problem.
cracking.
Is the prep work is light. So you don't know. We laugh and we make jokes, and the next sentence it's like, "Hey, you shouldn't. Hey, don't do that.
Hey,
Hey, I was in
hey.
Kentucky that day in 1881."
be so much more fucked up if we did do research and we're just like, yeah,
And then they died like every time.
up short line.
Anyways, it appeared that the killer or killers had tried to start a fire by lighting the clothing. The fire did not catch, so they returned and set the house on fire. The town of Ashland was shocked at the news. The Wheeling Register called it one of the most atrocious and hellish murders ever committed in a civilized community.
Wow.
The town raised $1,000 as a reward for the apprehension of the killer and sent for private detective John T. Norris. So John T. Norris is in. He's in the building.
We got the Norse
Private detective.
I like a private eye.
I kind of wish. So, Darce, you grew up knowing someone whose dad was a private eye.
I do, and I just had a realization that, and I feel really dumb right now.
What?
In my head, private eye was spelled EYE, but it's just private investigator.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it spelled private EYE. I feel
Is it supposed to just be private eye as an I is for investigator? I would
believe
assume
so. It's just like a PI. Yeah.
I just never thought about that.
What is if you type private eye? What happens? It's a
probably just like-
magazine.
Well, it's probably
It's
just
a
a play on
movie.
words, right? Like it's
Yeah, I'm
so I
just
think
saying
it's
where
just a
you
play on
maybe
words, I'm
would have
thinking.
seen it.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the magazine.
Big boy,
I mean, it's the UK's #1 best-selling news and current affairs publication.
of course.
So, okay. Anyway, yes, I knew a son of a private eye. I'm a son of a private eye.
I wish you didn't have to be a cop sometimes to be a private
I would
eye.
love to. This podcast would be so much cooler if we were just trying to solve mysteries.
Like there should be a degree you can go for that kind of skips ahead of having to do all the other work. I'm sure this is like
Yeah.
a ridiculous thing. If you're in the system, that like you would not know what's going on. But I just want to solve mysteries, people.
I'm just trying to be a
I'm just-
Scooby Doo.
I want an escape room that's real life. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. I want to solve riddles and find treasures.
I want like an aggressive amount of pictures all over my walls while I obsess over
yes,
it and like go
pins,
a little like make people in my life
string,
worry.
yarn. Yeah. I do too.
But I gotta work a beat to get there, and
Amen. Somebody
not
fund us
willing.
to do this.
yeah, someone who's can
We'll just make the next cereal, dude, and then there you go. Imagine if we were the people who came up with the next cereal, as if we
I think we're doing
had
it right now.
any business in that doing that.
The axe and crowbar used in the murders belonged to the Gibbons family, so the killers must have known where the things were kept. Norris was convinced. Have we talked about this before? Or is that a similar situation in a different murder?
Well, we've talked about a Christmas murder of the... it was an Italian family. The house was burned down. They found out they were like upstairs. No, it wasn't this one though, because there was like a billboard.
That was like in the 20th century, yeah.
Yeah. So that was different,
Okay.
but it is a very similar, like.
We've had
playbook
other
scene.
stories, I think, too. I think the what was the farm murders from like season 1?
Oh, you're thinking of the Hinterkaifeck murders.
Yes, that one. I think the axe was from inside the home, so someone didn't know where it was. Right?
The axe was coming from inside the house for sure. But those are not this story, so we're in the clear.
We are. We know what is happening. Norris was convinced that the killer was Mrs. Gibbons' husband, a thriftless, drinking man who had been kicked out of the house several weeks earlier because of his dissipated habits.
Okay, that's prime suspect.
The community found it hard to believe that Gibbons would rape his own 14-year-old daughter, but the post-mortem physicians could not say for sure that the girls had been raped. Norris thought the Gibbons had mutilated the bodies after death to make it appear that they were raped to throw suspicion on someone else.
Okay.
So that's a lot of dark
it's a lot
shit to figure out.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not cut out to be a private eye. What do private eyes actually do in real life, though? They just like track down like people's like biological parents and like.
Yeah, they were 23andMe before 23andMe, and now they're out of business.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Dude, to just be a couple of private eyes in Louisiana and chase enemies on fan boats.
Oh God, what a dream!
Where just like
what a dream come true.
Just wearing shorts and Hawaiian shirts all the time with our badge hanging out.
Just fan boating. I just want to be on a fan boat, really.
Dude, we should just fuck this private eye stuff. Let's just get a fan boat.
Let's just get a fan boat. Yeah. Hey guys, donate to our fan boat fund.
Hashtag fan boat fund.
Yeah.
Because give to charity. It's that time of year.
It's time to give all of your funds.
Can
to
we
us.
make a special Patreon category that, in order to subscribe to it, it's exactly the price of a used fan boat?
Yeah, I'll Google
for
like
$6 you can join Patreon. But to be a fan boat fanatic
for $15,000, you could get the fan boat. We'll take you out on the fan boat.
That'd be sick. Where would we even go?
We'll just be. We can't do it in New England because it's gonna be like, oh, you want to be on the frozen lake with a fan boat?
Where are
flying
the
in
alligators, bro? The newspapers reported.
We'll tear up the Bass Pike on our fan boat.
Gunning down the Connecticut River, dude.
Be sick, bro.
The newspapers reported several stories attributed to Mrs. Gibbons, suggesting that J.W. Gibbons was dangerously unstable. He was subject to spells of temporary insanity, frequently acting like a lunatic. He had threatened to kill his family, cut their heads off, and burn down the house.
Whoa, that's awfully convenient. I think I know who did it, Scones.
No. Hold on. We got. Hold on.
Okay, I'm holding.
He pranced around the house, brandishing a butcher knife, and at one time he proposed a suicide pact with his wife. Norris was searching for Gibbons and believed he would soon be in custody if he had not already killed himself. Prancing around the house with a butcher knife is a great way to look guilty.
Yeah, his lawyers were like, fuck, dude,
you were prancing? You
were prancing? You can't
What am
prance.
I supposed to do with that? No, and everyone believes that.
You can't. What's the fuck?
Will not
I
acquit.
can't think of the other word. If the prance doesn't fit, yeah, you can't prance.
Can't be prancing. Now, everyone believed that Gibbons was guilty. In the nearby town of Louisa, the police arrested a black man named Willis Hockaday.
Oh, no.
He had been drinking the day of the murder and disappeared that night. Pretty suspicious.
So fucked up.
He was drinking in another town. The next day, he made some incriminating statements. There was no evidence that Hockaday had any connection to the murder, and the police released him. Hockaday barely escaped a lynching. It turned out that statements attributed to Mrs. Gibbons concerning her husband's behavior were exaggerated rumors gathered by a reporter. Mrs. Gibbons denied making the statements. J.W. Gibbons arrived in Ashland on January 2nd, bringing overwhelming proof that he was elsewhere the night of the murder. He would not be arrested.
Okay, well, things just got a little crazy.
Detective Heflin of the Ashland Police never believed that Gibbons was the killer. He followed a different trail. The night of January 2nd, Heflin arrested 3 men: William Neal, Ellis Craft, and George Ellis. So there's an Ellis Craft and a George Ellis.
Yeah. What's up with that? Awfully suspicious, if you ask me.
George Ellis immediately admitted he was at the Gibbons home the night of the murders, but placed most of the blame on the other 2 men. He said that
we got a rat, dude.
He said that William Neal and Ellis Craft had boasted that they would carnally know Miss Thomas and Miss Gibbons before Christmas. They roused Ellis late on the night of the murder and insisted he go with them to the Gibbons house. Reluctantly, he went with them. They went in through a window, and Ellis watched as Craft raped Fanny. She cried piteously for murder as he continued his hellish work.
Oh my God.
He then raped Emma Thomas as George Ellis held her arms. Afterward, Emma said, "Oh, I know who you are, and I'm going to tell my mother."
Yikes.
So once she said that, the noise aroused Robert, who went out to give an alarm when Craft hit him on the head with an axe. Craft then told Fanny her time had come, and he struck her on the head and killed her instantly. Neal then killed Emma Thomas. Ellis said the cries of the girls for mercy were terrible to listen to, and he had not slept since. Every minute since the horrible tragedy was so vividly before his eyes, he could not stand it any longer. He said he had prayed every day, and he was prepared to die. The other 2 men denied his story.
Yikes.
Yeah. Real gruesome stuff.
Ay.
This is one of those things. We talked about this on a recent episode where it's like, it's really scary when, like, a lot of the time it's just one person that's, like, totally a sociopath that's fucked up, but then when they meet each other.
Yeah.
Like,
that's like, how do you bring that up? How do you broach the subject of, like, hey, you want to just murder people? Like,
would be kind of cool. And then everyone's like, what?
And you're like, yeah, that was, what?
The police took the prisoners by steamboat to Catlettsburg. They managed to secure the men in jail before the lynching mob could get to them. But everyone believed a lynching was inevitable. The Cincinnati commercial said most likely, before this is read, by the many readers of the commercial, the hellhounds of this blood-curdling drama will swing into eternity. 10 armed men guarded the prisoners held at the Catlettsburg jail, and they managed to keep them safe until their trials. William Neal confessed to the crime, but Ellis Craft continued to plead not guilty. All 3 were charged with aiding, abetting, and conspiring murder. George Ellis was separately charged with 3 counts of murder, a technicality allowing him to testify against his accomplices. Neal changed his plea to not guilty, but all 3 men were convicted. Neal and Craft were found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to hang. Ellis was testified against Neal and Craft, was found guilty of manslaughter, and sentenced to life in prison.
God damn.
I didn't even know life in prison was a thing back then.
I just assumed everyone was just straight to the gallows.
I mean, how long?
Okay.
You probably don't live long in prison back then.
Probably not.
Probably just get, like, your feet get too damp, and then there's, like, a rat in your cell, and then you're probably dead.
Yeah.
Just 1800 stuff.
Just 1800 stuff. That's also, like, what happened in people's homes, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Not just cells, but.
This sentence, though, Ellis's, the life in prison, did not sit well with the people of Ashland. A group of about 40 masked men arrived in Catlettsburg by train, broke into the jail. First of all, were they wearing masks the entire train ride?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That'd be very suspicious.
Yeah, I doubt it, but who knows, you know?
Anyway,
Trains are weird.
they arrived by train, broke into the jail through a window, unlocked Ellis's cell, and brought him out with a rope around his neck. They took him to the brickyard near the murder site and hung him from a sycamore tree.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Both Neal and Kraft appealed their convictions and were granted new trials and a change of venue to Carter County. They were taken again by steamboat to Maysville, Kentucky, guarded by 220 state troopers. 5 miles south, Catlettsburg, a gang of men in ferry boats opened fire on the steamboat, and the troops returned fire. The troops killed one of the attackers and wounded several others. 5 spectators on the riverbank were killed, and 21 were wounded.
Yikes.
Neither Neal nor Kraft succeeded in their second trial. Both were convicted again of first-degree murder and sentenced to hang. In a last-ditch attempt to avoid execution, Kraft's brother found a black man in Columbus, Ohio, who supposedly confessed to the crime. William Darcy had allegedly given a woman a bracelet that belonged to one of the murdered girls. No one believed the story, and nothing changed. It was thought that Kraft's friends planned to lynch Darcy to draw attention from Kraft. Reportedly, the people of Ashland were extremely indignant and made sure that Darcy was treated fairly. Which I'm surprised.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. I was going to say,
considering
this
they're
could've
willing to
gone-
open fire on the cops who are transporting these people.
True.
I figured it was going to be outlaw justice. Ellis Kraft's hanging on October 12th, 1883 in Grayson, Kentucky, was witnessed by a large and festive crowd. He professed innocence to the end. William Neal was hanged in Grayson on March 27th, 1885. With his dying breath, he would also profess innocence.
Yikes.
And that is the Ashland Massacre.
That is dark AF.
Oh, well, all the Christmas ones usually are. Except the,
Yeah, that's true.
the
I guess anytime
Warminster
around Christmas,
thing is
then.
kind of the only one.
Yeah, that was the only one that was just kind of silly. Weird. God damn. There was I'd never thought about it, but there must have been so much more just outlaw justice back then,
Yeah, especially
police probably had escort criminals so much more.
especially right after the Civil War, where
Yeah.
there's barely any authority anywhere.
Right. Also, how do you convict I just can't imagine how you can get convictions back then. It's so crazy to me because you have no way to get actual hard evidence.
Nope, not at all.
It's well, your shoe matched the same size shoe, therefore.
Well, you were out drinking
like-
the night of.
Yeah, and then nobody saw you while you went to sleep. It's well, yeah. I don't know.
And then-
what a terrible.
The husband says some pretty horrifying
supposedly
things, and then
said some real bad stuff.
comes back to town and is like, "Nuh-uh," and then everyone's like, "All right, it wasn't him."
Hey, the thing that you kept saying apparently.
Hey, when he
that
pranced
happened?
around.
Yeah, and it's just a nightmare. I hope everyone's Christmas goes better than that.
Yeah, me
one.
too.
Morbo, I hope you I hope you find all of the gifts under your little Christmas web
Oh,
tree
thank
thing.
you. Thanks for noticing the Christmas web.
Did you do a snowflake this year?
Yeah, I cut it up and folded it and then unfolded it, and it looks great.
Bunch of people.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Well, I wish you all the best. Excited to see what you get for Christmas. Did you have anything on your list for Christmas, actually?
I just wanted everyone to have a safe, happy holiday.
Wow, that's what you wrote down on your Christmas list?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Wow,
right here.
fuck.
Look.
Oh, I hope everyone has a safe and wow.
Yeah,
You're a fucking
can I
nerd.
have that back, please?
No, it's mine now.
Oh.
I'm too tall. You can't reach
I
it.
want to keep it in my archives.
Morbo, you keep
How-
archives?
You have archive? You keep a full archives of all your Christmas letters? Oh, okay.
What an organized guy.
Peepshow, organized Spider Boy. How many eyes do spiders have, Scones?
It
6,
depends
8?
on the species.
Likely
6
story.
to 8 is usually the.
Okay.
I think. Maybe 4. 4 and some. I don't know.
Could be 2.
Hey, why not?
Why not?
Why
Guys,
not?
Why not?
How
Take a
many
crazy
spider
chance.
eyes?
Google.
Spiders usually have 8 eyes.
Oh, to match there.
But some have 6 or 4.
legs.
So there it is.
Oh, great. Listeners, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. If you want to follow the old potty, hit MMM Pod on Twitter, MondayMorningCop.com, Monday Morning Cop on Instagram. And
look out for our
you
new
know-
Fanboats Detective series.
yeah, new fan notes tier in Patreon. And we wish you nothing but sweet love to all.
And to all a good night.
Good night. Bye.